Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Queens of Wrestling 5 Tournament Bracketology Special. I am D-Wall, your host, and joined with me is a man who needs no introduction in this civilized world, Mr. Eddie Mack.
Hi, everybody.
The man who represents 85% of England, Mr. Hit Kid Worldwide.
Worldwide Man is here, hello.
Bombshell Club for Life, Mr. SRH. And Lips.
Really? That's the best you've got?
Zahia Morgan.
Okay, whatever.
I can see why I'm in the middle of these things.
Okay, if you want a formal introduction, the owner
Let me give him a formal
the owner of
Hey!
We promise to be civil. We promise to be civil through this.
Yeah, we promise to be civil.
The face
That's
and handle his business himself.
Mr. SRH. That's why you're on the other. That's why you're way over there and he's way.
Yeah, and he's way lucky too.
Anyway, the
Hey,
owner
do it,
of
Doc.
ZCW and half owner of TBGW and all that good stuff, Mr. Zahia Morgan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Lips. Now, this has been regarded as probably the most unpredictable tournament that Queens of Wrestling has ever produced. And I can't say and stress enough how true that is, because over half of this field are completely unknown to the virtual wrestling audience. But with that being said, will that make them more hungry and more willing to do whatever it takes to win this tournament? That's what we're about to predict right now. Because, as you all know, the winner of the Queens of Wrestling 5 tournament will go on to main event Queens of Wrestling 5 this fall for the Queens of Wrestling Championship against whoever the champion may be at that time. Now, here are the rules of this tournament. Of course, it is single elimination, 32 women. We'll start with this tournament, and we will go until we get to the final, outlast all of the others in the end. But here's the caveat that nobody knows until right this second. There will also be a second bracket. There will be a loser's bracket. The loser's bracket will consist of 8 fan-chosen women that will come back for an 8-woman loser's bracket tournament. I won't call it a loser's bracket tournament because of obvious reasons.
We'll call it a second chance bracket.
And the winner of that second chance bracket will get an opportunity at the Soul Silver Championship of Wrestling 5. How is that for a side deal for all these women?
Huh. Clever.
Because, you know, there was a certain big-lipped man in here that questioned my decisions last year, so I decided to do something smart.
Hey, at least you addressed it beforehand this time.
Yes. You know, unlike your shady business deals. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and get started with the very first tournament. And this one is a big one, ladies and gentlemen, because the very first match on this card, on this tournament, in round 1, we'll see Faith Connors go one-on-one with Siri. Now, this is going to be a very interesting match for several different reasons. You got Faith Connors, who is very high-flying, very hybrid athlete. And you got Siri, who, if we've seen it already, is a brawler. And if you saw her match in the preview special on episode 17 of Queens of Wrestling Live, you know what she's capable of. So, here, kid, I'll start with you. What do you expect from these two women going into this tournament?
Well, it's like this. Siri impressed us all, you know, during her preview bout back on Queens of Wrestling Live episode 17. Faith Connors, you will give the edge to more in-ring experience. Think about her time in UCWL. Think about her time in, just coming into DCA right now. I expect a high-flying, hard-hitting contest between them both. I don't want to take it.
Eddie? Any thoughts on this?
Yeah,
I mean, you've seen Faith Connors before, and you've seen Siri, so
yeah.
least 2 women's styles by now.
Yeah, Faith is Faith is very explosive, very high flying, and yeah, you mentioned her kid. She's got more experience in the virtual wrestling world. We know what she's capable of, which that actually might work to Siri's advantage because we don't know the full extent of Siri's talents. That could work against Faith in this, but and you know what? In a one and done scenario, Siri could probably catch Faith off guard if Faith is not careful. Tough one right off the bat. But I'm going to go with the experience. I'm going to go with Faith. You got to have Faith.
If I have to go with a prediction, I'm leaning towards Faith. Big Lip Gorilla. Believe you're next.
Well, I guess for the first, this will be probably the first time, but yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Eddie and Hit Kid here. I saw what Siri was capable of during the preview match that she had on that Queens of Wrestling special. She was very good, very talented. Can react quickly to dangerous situations. But then again, I've also seen a lot of Faith Connor's work back at UCWL. I felt like she was very much held back there. I felt like she wasn't getting the respect that she so rightfully deserved. I felt like she had something there, something untapped, and I think that during this Queens of Wrestling tournament, she's finally going to show that out. She's finally going to release all that pent-up frustration and aggression that I believe that's been inside her all this time, and it's going to come out towards Siri, and it's going to come out to anyone that tries to step up to her in this tournament. So yes, I'm going to go with Faith Connors.
And with that being said, we're going to go on to our next matchup. Did anybody choose who you think is going to win this?
Yeah, we all chose Faith.
We all picked it. All of us. All three on Faith. We gotta have Faith.
Yeah, I believe we
gotta have Faith. The Faith.
The Limp Bizkit cover.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The Limp Bizkit cover is fine, but I prefer the original. I'm sorry, Mr. SRH.
Your pick, SRH. Faith. That's a clean sweep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to move on then. Our next matchup, match number 2 in the round 1, is going to be a very interesting match as well, as you got Nila taking on Miyu Osawa. Now, I have a little thing about Miyu. Miyu is making her debut in a virtual wrestling ring. This is the first time that she's actually going to compete in the ring. So it's going to be very interesting to see what she can bring to the table. Does she want to go more high flying? Does she want to do more of an aerial game? Or does she really want to do that and compete against Nila, who we've seen can take it to the air just as much as anybody in the virtual wrestling business these days? She has made quite the impact in her short time in virtual wrestling. And now she is in quite possibly the biggest tournament of her life. She is in the ring with someone who is willing to do. Do you think that he has a chance to pretty much shock a lot of people and pull off an upset against Nila?
I think she does, and here's why. Miyu doesn't have the baggage that Nila has at the moment.
True.
Nila has the baggage of Ashra on her back.
Yeah.
That's a lot of baggage to overcome. If she cannot get rid of that baggage before this tournament, she is going out in round 1. I'm picking Miyu to win. You heard it here first.
All right. Hey,
Okay.
kid.
I go with Eddie because here's the question. Eddie, you just talked about the baggage which Nila has. will she even make it to the tournament?
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
Considering what's happened with Ashura, who she's been attacked by. Like, I think if Nila makes it, she'll go through in this. The question is does she make it or not?
Well, she better hope she make it, because there's no buys here. If she can't make it, she's going to get replaced. I can tell you that right now. But I think Nilan, honestly, if you're asking me, I think Nilan has the mental edge in this whole thing. I think she's not going to let the mind games of Ashura get to her like so many others have in the past. And she knows how big of an opportunity this is. She knows that this could be her only shot of getting even close to the Queens of Wrestling title. So she's going to have to fight that mental edge, and in the end, she's going to have to make it through to this tournament. And even then, she's got to face a completely unknown in Miyu. Zahaya, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, it's like you said, this is Miyu's first. This is her debut going into virtual wrestling, not just like in any type of that she's debuting for this company or this guy. This is her virtual wrestling debut that she is making herself in the Queens of Wrestling tournament, no less. That's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. This is something that she's going to have to battle through, that most other people can dream of battling through, and she's going to have to do it. And will she do it? It's a long shot. And, you know, Nilan, I've seen on numerous of occasions, she has proven to be quite a formidable opponent. I know she's got the baggage of Ashura, like you guys said, but at the same time, Miyu's going to have the baggage of having all these people looking at her, having the light shined on bright on her in that very moment, and it's going to be mainly her choosing whether she's going to sink or swim. And I think that's going to be too much pressure on the lady. I'm going to go with Nilan on this one.
All right.
A dissenting opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you got to wonder. You got to wonder if Nilan's going to be ready for this tournament. I certainly hope so. For her benefit.
Yeah.
And all the same.
But,
I really hope. Because, again, this is something she can't afford to miss. This is something she can't afford to lose out on.
Exactly. But Ashura is just a medicine. They're not going to go away. They're not going to leave her alone. She's got to deal with this, and hopefully she can deal with it before the Queens of Wrestling tournament comes around.
Because you don't want to have that on your mindset, you know, while going into this tournament. It's the last thing you want on your mind.
Exactly.
All right, match number 3 is another first round match, obviously, and another battle of unknowns. As one of them, none. It's going to be Erica Blandelli versus Sakura. No. Now, everyone knows Sakura's history. It's something that doesn't need to be repeated too much. But for those of you who don't know, I'll have Eddie elaborate at coming up in a bit. But as for Erica, again, as in the same thing with Miyu, this is Erica's first virtual wrestling match. And, you know, you have to wonder about the whole thing with, is she going to be ready for a match like this? Is she going to be prepared for something of this magnitude? I mean, she's a fighter. She's a swordswoman. She knows how to handle her in a fight. But is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough to take down someone who is as accomplished as Sakura, as Eddie will now elaborate?
Sakura Haruno, one of the most accomplished performers in the history of this business. 4-time VWF Hardcore Champion, off the top of my head, for starters. She hangs, and here's the company she keeps. Naruto, one of the most successful performers in virtual wrestling today. Sasuke Uchiha, also one of the most successful performers in virtual wrestling today. So Erica has got quite the hurdle to climb. Sakura's been through the war. She's not going to be surprised, I don't think, by anything Erica brings. But Erica's going to be hungry. She's going to want to prove herself here in this tournament. She's going to want to show out in her debut, if you will. But I'm going to experience once again. I'm going with Sakura on this over Erica.
Guess it's coming to me.
It is coming to you.
I'm Erica with the swordswoman background with the fight for honor. You're going to get somebody here who, let's be honest, in Sakura, who, how do you put it, couldn't give a care about honor. But you look at her past. She's one of the most ruthless athletes in virtual wrestling history. And I wished I could say the upset, but as Eddie said, experience and also aggression. Sakura for me.
Wow, this is weird because this is coming from someone who's not even that big of a fan of Sakura, but I gotta agree. I'm sure that Erica is gonna be hungry, like Eddie said. She's gonna be fiery. It's her first match. She's gonna be bringing everything she's got. However, Sakura is she's done too much. She's got way too much training. She's got way too much experience to be caught off guard by a rookie like Erica. And that's no disrespect to Erica. That's just all the time and effort that Sakura has put in during her time in virtual wrestling. Period. It's just there's not many who can build a reputation like that. So I'd have to be foolish to pick anyone other than Sakura in this scenario.
All right. Well, let's go on to match number 4. Match number 4. Another interesting one. As it contains to two women who we all know and we all can appreciate. As Domino takes on Juri Han.
Oh, wow. Woo!
Now, that's I would say it's a toss-up. At the same time, it depends on who you ask. Domino.
Because you see, if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But Domino is a genetic freak, and she's not normal. So Juri Han's got 25% at best at beating Domino. If then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, the chances of winning drastically go down. So the three-way, a sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he's not going to beat me. He can't beat me, and he's not even going to try.
Angle.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Bye. Good night, everybody. No, seriously. No, seriously, no. So, here, kid, just go. Just go.
I never thought that. Juri Han, evil, sadistic, member of Shadowloo, one of the most ruthless organizations in the world. Violent as hell. Bit psychopath, am I allowed to say that?
A bit psycho.
Alright, very psycho.
There you go.
This is Domino. Who's the luck going to be all with? And you need a bit of luck in these sort of tournaments.
So Juri Han, you take a 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got 8 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice. And then you take my 75% chance of winning, and then add 66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See what, Juri? The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
You know what? Eddie made me.
See, I'm gonna break it off for all you ladies. Would you rather be with me or rather be with Juri?
Yeah.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, Eddie said it all. Domino's my pick. So, good luck following that.
Zaya?
I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna pick Domino.
Clean sweep.
Let's just pick Domino and move on, please.
Poor Juri Han. Poor Juri Han.
Okay.
See, I'm gonna talk to all my freaks out there. Would you rather come home and see his outside every day, or would you go with that psycho Samoa Joe?
The next match, everybody. Match number 5 on this card. Is another battle of unknowns. 2 of them. Well, it's funny I said 2, because the next match is 0-2 versus Ringo no Imano. Now, for those of you who don't know who Ringo is, she is from Air Gear fame. She's called the Crazy Apple for a very specific reason, because when you piss her off, she can get very, very violent. But at the same time, you have 0-2, who is very, very violent. And let's go to our resident expert on violent women who don't give a shit, Mr. Zahia Morgan.
She will fucking kill you.
What? Just like your loved
is-
one. But go ahead.
0-2 is a bad woman, and it makes it even more bad is that she is a very mysterious one. You don't know where she comes from, and you don't really know what she's all about until she comes up, sneaks behind you, and stabs you in the back multiple times, and then keeps stabbing you, and stabbing you, and stabbing you. She's that deadly. She's that dangerous. Anyone in this tournament overlooking her is a goddamn fool. And I pray for anyone who steps in the ring with her. I pray for them.
Zahia, you sound like you have experience with women stabbing you in the back.
Oh.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Well, he's done it to women before.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. Go ahead, Hickett.
It's a match of mystery, because I have to be honest. You've mentioned about this tournament, being unknowns. D-Wall, I don't know a lot about these two. I know a lot about the field, just not these two. This will be the match which could be the sleeper for me, because I'll be able to judge these two, more after they faced off against each other. But from the way Zahia just described 0-2, yeah, I'm going to take the psychopath. Safe bet. Eddie?
0-2 just needs to get in the robot.
No. That's not even...
Get in the robot, 0-2! Get in the goddamn robot!
Yeah.
Not even...
So I guess that makes it a clean sweep.
Yes.
Again,
Okay.
yes. Another
All
clean
right.
sweep. All right, so the next match.
Get in the fucking robot!
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
While,
Next
while
match.
while Eddie talks about the robot, let's go on to.
It's
match-
been a long week. Let's say that. It's been a long week.
Get in the robot!
While he's talking about that, let's go on to match number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Six.
6. Match number 6, and this is one that Eddie will enjoy even more than he already has. It's Hakufu Sanzaku versus Joanna Dark.
Woo!
You want to talk about fighters fighting each other and probably hitting each other really, really hard in the face. This is your match right here. Eddie can go on
This will pretty much be two women just hitting each other. This could be a shoot. This could be like a shoot.
probably. I would not doubt that for a second.
Queens of Wrestling presents Bloodsport.
Oh,
We shooting, brother.
Are y'all doing commentary now?
No, we're doing the Queens of Wrestling bracket, actually. Nice
Would you like to join in?
Nice of you to pop your head
in the studio, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Millie
pop
Brown.
his head right in, and he's like, "Y'all doing commentary? No, fuck it."
Sweet. Let me put my drink down.
Oh god damn it.
Oh God, well, Millie Brown has joined us.
Yeah, you can sit in the seat that Mr. SRH unfortunately had to leave.
Because he doesn't want to be in the same room as Sahai.
Yeah, well now we have somebody who doesn't want to be in the same room as Sahaya even more.
Yeah,
Great.
we upgraded.
Can we? We're look. I know a couple of us maybe a little bit tipsy, but please try to keep it civil.
I'm fine. I know what you're talking about.
I had to drive like 6.5 hours with the league, so I think we're
No, I think I know the other half of the parent I'm talking to.
Oh
That's
yeah,
inside.
well we have security for that.
Oh, by the way, we'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find.
Okay.
So
Right. Shoot fight.
yes, this is gonna be.
But Joanna's
Malik knows all about Hakufu. I mean,
yeah.
for obvious reasons.
Yes. Malik, tell us about Hakufu.
Yes.
About Haku?
Hakufu.
Hakufu Sanzaku from Iki Towson.
Oh, well, she has great assessments.
Well, there you go. But good night, everybody.
She has. I'm sorry. She has what now?
Good night, everybody.
Great
Oh my
assets,
gosh.
if you know what I mean.
Got it.
And speaking of people who don't understand what assets are and how to handle them, here's
Damn.
Alright, I guess I'll go first and try to explain. Hakufu, quite possibly one of the most fierce fighters in probably all of the world. I mean, it's mainly why she was chosen for the Queens of Wrestling tournament in the first place. Joanna Dark, you could also put in that same category. So when we say this might turn into a shoot, it's no exaggeration, because these are quite possibly two of the deadliest women in this tournament. They're both very skilled strikers, very fast strikers. This is basically who's it's going to come down towards who's the better fighter in this one. It's going to be very hard hitting, very smash mouth, not a lot of technicality in this one, if one were to call it. So yeah, who do you think would have a better edge in the hand-to-hand, the martial arts department of all things? And if I had to edge one out just a bit, I'd have to go with Hakufu.
Bless you.
yes. So
Over to me.
yes.
This one's tough because Joanna Dark, one of the most dangerous females on the planet, with all spy training and everything. But I called Hakufu recently in SCA. I'm calling, her matches over there.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say she fucks people up, she beats the shit out of them. Like, she recently destroyed, the SCA is doing its climax tournament right now.
Right.
She recently destroyed Envy in less than 10 minutes.
Woo!
What match? Yeah, so I will be damned if I don't put my money on Hakufu for this.
She ain't coming to play around. She's coming to whip
I'm
somebody.
I'm going Hakufu.
You know what? I was gonna pick Joanna, just to be contrarian, but I think your arguments may have convinced me to go the other way. I'm going with Hakufu.
Now, just so you know, I want you guys to write your predictions down.
I'm writing them down.
I'm going to be keeping track. All right.
Oh goddamn.
Just
Okay,
so
so I need a
Lips,
cap.
just all you now. Zahaya, for you is pull your lip out a little bit, and you can just write on it. You can keep your notes on that one. Anyway, So, yeah. With that said, so Hakufu is the clear favorite. I mean, after beating, if you beat the fuck out of Envy in 10 minutes, I mean, you shoot out too. But let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. Now on to the next one.
Like I'm like signed up. Let's go.
On to the next one. And if speaking of fired up, here are two women who are always fired up in our next matchup as Mila takes on Faye Valentine.
Woo!
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Now, if you want to talk about two women who like to hit people in the mouth, these are two women that like to hit people in the mouth. All right, Faye Valentine, obviously a legend in her own right, in more ways than one. Everyone knows her from Cowboy Bebop, and if you haven't seen Cowboy Bebop, you are probably an uncultured twat. All right,
Very uncultured.
very uncultured. Mila, on the other hand, she'll just knock you the fuck out whenever she feels like it.
She's MMA trained.
Yeah.
That's Spanish fire blood.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a toss up here. It's gonna be a toss up, and let's go to our resident toss up expert, Mr. Sahaya Morgan, to elaborate further on this matchup. Mr. Morgan.
Oh boy.
Well, thank you,
Wow.
Mr. Morgan. Now we're going on to never mind.
As I was going to say, yeah, I know we've been talking a lot about the best fighters and like who's the best striker, who has more high flying ability, but I don't think like smarts, brain power has been brought up enough in this tournament. It's been very who's going to edge out as like the best fighter or the best wrestler. We're not really talking about who's going to be the smartest wrestler, and I think that's what Faye Valentine represents. She's a very smart wrestler. She thinks, I think, 5 moves ahead of her opponents at all time. I mean, she's not like one of the most renowned thieves in all of the galaxy, you know what I mean? It's just, there's a reason for that. Mila, I will give her this. If this were up against anyone else, I automatically say that she would probably be going into the next round. However, I think Faye Valentine is going to be a lot trickier because I don't think Mila's going to quite know what she's going to bring to the table. And I think that's what's going to edge Faye into the next round.
All right.
Ooh, this is a tough call here because
Actually, Eddie, you go ahead.
yeah, this is a tough call because I think because both of these women are quite experienced in virtual wrestling, though I think Mila, between the two, far more accomplished. And I think Mila is more familiar with the tournament scenarios, having to fight constantly in tournaments all the time, whether it's in MMA or in SCA. I like Mila in this bout. Based on the tournament experience thing.
All right. Malik, do you have anything on this match? Who do you think's gonna edge out?
Well, it's gonna be a very difficult bout for both women because you have the experience on one account of many tournament wins, and pardon my French, but it's literally gonna boil down to determination and who wants it more. So I'm going to say, give me a moment, let me take a sip of this.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna say Faye Valentine.
All right. All right. We have our first match that's not a clean sweep tonight.
Yeah, guess what?
It's going to be 7 matches to get there.
Guess what? It's going to be a total divide. I'm taking Mila for this reason. Mila, for me, is going to be the one who I think is going to go on the dark horse run of this tournament. We've all seen how mixed martial arts backgrounds have transitioned into wrestling rings. They've usually transitioned with a lot of success. The track record proves it. So I'm going to say Mila gets this done.
I mean, hell, look who's the Queens of Wrestling champion right now.
Exactly.
Can you imagine that at Queens of Wrestling 5 event?
Woo! Get.
You want to talk about a shoot? You want to talk about a shoot fight?
Get
Fuck it.
that in my.
Beat the shit out of each other.
Get that in
Well,
my
let's be fair.
veins.
But let's be fair, that's still a long ways away.
Get that in my veins. Let's go.
It's still a long ways out, though. She's got to get through this tournament, and she has to make it to Queens of Wrestling 5 as the champion. And
A lot can happen. In, let's see, a lot can happen in about 6 months.
Yeah. So, with that said, we're going to move on to the next match. Match number 8. Almost halfway through here. Almost.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Can
you gentlemen hear me?
Joined us.
And I'm not actually here. This is an MTB hologram. I'm actually coming to you live from the future location of the second VW Insurgency.
Okay, great.
I have just brokered a deal with the great city of Salt Lake City, Utah, for the official location. That is official news for VWU wise.
Holy shit. Wait. This is news. Like right now.
Yeah, this is breaking.
Wow, this is most unexpected.
Well, looks like I'm gonna have to
make
a call to my
if
team
you gentlemen
to make me a Utah Jazz attire.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Wait, is that music in the background?
Yes, it is. I'm at the location about to head off to Japan for TPGW Revolution 4 debuting next week, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, this is MTB to HKK with the official announcement heading out. You gentlemen get back to Queens of Wrestling news.
All right. Well, that's some breaking news
was he
there.
Was he in a club? What the hell was going on there?
You wouldn't know the first thing about a club.
He was on location, you absolute muppet.
You know what? Why
were there strobe lights and music?
Listen, Kermit, can you be quiet? Let's get on.
Let's go on with match number 8, and it's really too bad that Mr. SRH had to duck out because it's a high, because this 8th match would have really pumped his spirits up, because match number 8 is Max Caulfield versus Nozomi. Now,
I'm sorry, Max Caulfield versus who now?
Nozomi Kamanashi. Malik knows who she is, and I'm sure some do too.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to get me hip on.
Okay, so Nozomi is from Kaijo fan. Kaijo is a sport where you have to use your assets to knock someone off of a circular platform on the water.
Huh.
Malik knows this. That's why he's laughing hysterically. He has seen Nozomi in action, and let's just leave it right there.
I ain't saying shit.
Now, here's one thing that, as you are about to see in this beautifully designed graphic here, there's been comparisons already between Nozomi and another very resilient, very determined, very wanting to prove she's the greatest of all time person in virtual wrestling, and that is Miss Sakura Hagiwara. And
I don't know if that's a good comparison.
I mean, if you think about it, both have amazing resilience. They're both very driven to be the best at what they do. They both want to be number one in the world at whatever sport that they compete in. And they both have a hell of a lot of confidence that they are the absolute best. And plus on the other side, the assets thing, but we're not going to speak on that.
That confidence can that confidence can carry you in a whole can carry you a whole lot of places if you if you make good use of it. And from what I'm hearing, Nozomi can make quite good use of it.
Yeah, she can. But on the other side of the field, you got Max Caulfield, who just recently won the ACL Solar Star title. Her first singles championship in her career. This is a woman who has defied all the odds her entire life. Former ACL Lioness Tag Team Champion. And this is her first singles outing in this tournament. She is looking to show that she is not just a tag team specialist, that she can get it done on her own. And I think she can if she can break the stigma of, hey, this is just tag team wrestler Max Caulfield, which I'm pretty sure she's very much capable of doing. Now, before a certain somebody goes into a very, very long rant, we'll be here for 12 hours, I'm going to let Hit get started.
Guess what? Max Caulfield is already breaking that thing for tag team. You just mentioned it about, the ACL Soul Star.
Mm-hmm. First ever one. She beat 3 other women, and may I remind you that one of those women in that match was Akira.
Hell, she recently she knocked off Rainbow Mika this week.
Yeah, she's
Rainbow Mika,
the fucking legend.
She is making waves right now.
She's on the roll of her life.
Of momentum behind her.
And I get that everyone's hyping up Nozomi, but for me, this is a bracket buster right here. I'm going. I'm going Max Caulfield. No, can we pass it to Eddie before we hear someone go off on his trashy rants?
No, we're not going to have him speak at all.
Good.
Because we know what's going to come next. Malik, go ahead.
It's an interesting matchup with someone like Nozomi who hasn't really been tested in a wrestling ring. Tested in other places, but not a wrestling ring.
It's a whole different ball game than a wrestling.
It is. Whole different ball game than what she was doing before. And all seriousness aside, no matter the jokes I crack here, she's a very athletic woman. I think she can get it done in the ring. But this is a very, very high wall for her to try to climb with Max Caulfield.
And let's not forget, Nozomi is going to be in a tag team match with a few other women that are going to be in this tournament as well, coming up at Elevation. So we're going to get a chance to see what she can do. Yes. So we'll have to see how that pans out.
So, honestly,
and if you'd like to, if not to interrupt you there, Malik, but if you want to know what that match is, it is going to be Mila and Nozomi teaming up to take on Musubi and Satellizer El Bridget, which I will talk about those two later on in this show. I'm surprised that I didn't scream at the name Musubi. He's too busy in the corner.
No, it's not.
I think he's having a moment.
Probably.
But to be honest, as much as I want to give Nozomi the benefit and say that this might be a test she succeeds in, Max has too much momentum. I know from personal experience, and many others who's ever been in a ring know from personal experience. When you're on a high, you kick it up every night. You just kick it up. You go 100 one night, 200 the next night, then you'll jump to 500 the next. So to me, Max Caulfield's going to come out the winner in this.
All right. Zahaya, are you there?
Yes.
Can you avoid ranting for 5 minutes and be professional and actually talk this match with just these two people?
I wasn't gonna rant in the first place, but whatever.
We know you better than that.
I feel like I have behaved myself rather well this entire time.
Yes, you have. I will at least give you some of 0.1% credit for that. So go ahead.
When it comes down to Nozomi, I mean, we can pretty much make like all the jokes in the world about the sport that she plays, but let's not forget that some of the most successful wrestlers in the world have built their legacies on using hip attacks. I mean, you've got a multi-time, junior heavyweight champion in Ryusuke Taguchi, a multi-time women's champion in Asuka, and like pretty much the entire Samoan dynasty have made the hip attack look like one of the most devastating maneuvers out there. So let's not take. Yep. So let's not take away anything from what Nozomi brings to the table. It's anything that you can use as a weapon is very dangerous, and if that includes her hip attacks, then so be it. She's going to use what she's going to use. As far as experience goes, I know you brought up that she is very much like Sakura in a lot of ways. She's very determined to be the best, and if she can show that, if she can prove that during the Queens of Wrestling tournament of all things, then all to her. And she's going up against a very formidable opponent in Max Caulfield, and even though Max might not be my favorite wrestler in the world, I can't deny that she's been very successful as of late. She's been getting things done as of late. She's been trying to make history, and she's been trying to make this her year. She's been trying to make this her breakout year. She's not just Chloe's partner anymore. She's her own person. She's gonna be her own wrestler. So this is against two people who I believe have the most to prove in this contest, and this isn't personal bias or anything. This isn't have anything to do with sour grapes right now. But I legitimately think Nozomi might walk out thinner in this. I think Nozomi is going to shock a lot of people and get the victory.
All right. Eddie, do you want to get your?
I want to pick Nozomi, but I can't. I've had to make it a deep run in this tournament before any matches we knew of any matches that were going to be made. But she's going to be up against a buzzsaw in Max. She's going one and done, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm going with Max.
All right. Well,
though I sincerely hope Nozomi gets picked up somewhere, because I think she's got a good future ahead of her, I think.
Well, this could also mention back to your point, about the second bracket as well.
Yeah, let's not forget that. Sure. She could have a good showing, and the fans could vote her back in for the second chance bracket. And the same for any of the other matches we've talked about tonight. So you gotta also keep in the back of your head. But, match number 9 we are about to get to, and oh boy, this one. I'm getting 2 different matches, and actually, you know what? Let's go with this one right here. Match number 9 is going to be Silver Sable taking on Christie Montero.
Holy shit!
Oh shit!
Ah shit!
Now, before we get started, let's talk about Christie, as if we haven't talked about Christie enough in our generation. All right. If you don't know who Christie Montero is, you are even more of an uncultured.
Why are you here? Why are you here?
Why are you watching this video? Why are you watching this video right now? Where the fuck did you come from?
Why are you playing video games, period? This woman is an absolute legend. All right. On top of that, she's in this tournament with another legend that we'll get to later, in a returning legend in Aerith Gainsborough. Yeah, a lot of people were shocked when I said that, huh?
Yeah, I broke.
I mean, let's think about it this way. These two legends in this tournament, they have pretty much done everything there is to do in their careers. And they are two of the absolute, hands down, no question about it, favorites to win this tournament. Multiple-time champions in every single league you can think of. I mean, Aerith, multiple-time VWF champion. Christie, women's champion.
Twice.
Tag team champion.
Twice.
Madness tournament winner. Can I keep going? Because there's a whole lot of accolades. All right, we'll be here all night. We'll be here all night.
Can we say she's the face of CCL?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Aerith may have been the face of VWF for it. So there's a lot of comparisons in that regard. But then on the other hand, you have got a violent, brutal, vicious, angry Super Sable on the other side of the ring staring.
Let's just put this into perspective. This woman went 1-on-1. Let me remind you that Silver Sable doesn't have any like technical powers or so. She's pretty much like a normal human. But she went toe to toe with motherfucking Spider-Man, and has nearly won those battles. Nearly won them.
SCAW legend
this woman is.
Not just SCAW legend, CAW legend.
Yes. I apologize for my disrespect.
CAW legend.
I apologize for my disrespect.
Oh, this is a tough one. Who wants to start picking here, or should I start?
You know who I'm picking. With all due respect. With all due respect.
We don't need to ask Eddie.
With all due respect. With all due respect to Silver. With all due respect to Silver Sable. I'm. Look, she's gonna be hungry as hell. I get that. But look what you're up against.
Yeah. You're up against somebody who wants to.
You're up against the goddamn legend.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Silver Sable's gonna be upset-minded, but there will be no upset coming. Go ahead. I see the 10 of you.
This is tough. Because here's the thing about Silver Sable. She's cold, she's calculating, she's ruthless. Like, hell, when you think of Silver Sable, you think of, like, competitors we've seen like that in virtual wrestling. Think of, like, your Revis. Think of, like, your Barlikers.
Right.
But... And I'm gonna go with Eddie here. This is Christie Montero. What is the one thing Christie Montero excels at? Big pressure situations. And there's a huge experience in doing it in the ring under this one and done format. I think this has the potential to be an upset, but I don't see it. Christie's my pick.
Oh, okay. Well, all of the things that both Pickett and Eddie have said are very true about Christie, and it, look, if this were anyone else, I'd say that it'd be foolish not to pick Christie, but it's very tough for me considering Silver Sable, like, not to be... I'm not. This is just not me hyping her up or anything. She's very dangerous. She's a very dangerous fighter. She's very calculated. She's very smart. She's very cold as well, which worries me. Which should worry a lot of these women in this tournament. Which is one of the things that I think would make her a threat in this tournament. If this, like, again, I said, just like I said with if this were anyone else with Sable, I can say that it's the same thing with if there was anyone else against other than Christie, then Silver would have a easy win here. However, it's not. These are two very dangerous women in this tournament, and only one can make it through. If I had to pick anyone, it would probably be Christie, because I don't believe in luck. I believe in experience, and I believe Christie's going to have the most of that going into this tournament.
All right. Malik, you want to join in here?
I'm just gonna say this one sentence. Silver Sable goes over. That's it.
Whoa.
Whoa!
All right. Straightforward there. Straightforward. Just going out right out saying it. All right. Well, that's shocking there, but all right. So our next match number 10, I believe. If I'm going by my little sheet here, which was conveniently handed to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, we're on 10.
Yep. We're at 10. All right. Match number 10 in this tournament is another battle of unknowns and two women who, well, I don't know how happy Zahai is going to be after hearing this next matchup, but the next match is going to be Lena Vance from Queen's Blade fame going up against Rias Grimory's right hand, if you will, Akeno Himajima. Now, before Zahaya goes into a seizure,
Why are you?
Why are you hating?
let me take this. Now Akeno and Zahaya, you know this. Malik, you may vaguely know this. Akeno likes to hurt people.
Oh yeah.
That's the first thing we should say. But I will preference that by saying she likes to hurt people. Likes.
And just so we're clear.
Likes to hurt people. Enjoys very much hurting people. Now, before I get sued, I will have Hitkey continue.
Akeno likes to deliver punishment.
Likes to.
Yeah, like she can act all. She can act friendly. She can act kind.
Sweating.
But when you get on her
these weak arms are heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm on the sweater already.
Yeah.
Mom spaghetti.
I don't want to get sued, Eddie. All right.
Like no disrespect to Lena. I'm going Akeno. I have to. I just think she's going to. I think this is going to be a blitzkrieg. Akeno's my pick.
All right. Malik, are you going to be able to handle this, man? Or do I need to get the paper towels out?
I think it'll be fine.
Jesus.
All right. I'm just making sure. I'm just checking on you, man.
I'm good.
All right.
Akeno. I can't. A little part of me just loves violence. And I know this is gonna get pretty fucking violent.
I mean, before we continue, let me just say, you got two women who make their name on. All right, you got Lena Vance, who's, by the way, won a tournament before, a very deadly one, I might add.
Yes, she has.
And you got Akeno, who, for the love of God, she's around Rias Grimory 24/7.
Let me make my pick right now.
Yes, go ahead, Eddie.
Yes, I get that Lena has won a tournament before, but you know who wasn't in that tournament? Akeno Himajima, who likes to hurt people, who likes to hurt people, and dare I say it, gets off on it.
Please don't say get off around Zahai. He gets scared.
The woman enjoys pain.
Yeah, she does. Yes.
Let me tell you this: if the only chance Lena has of getting out of this match, if she finishes off Akeno very quickly, if she gets extended, she has no chance. I'm going with Akeno.
All right. Zahaya, are you going to be professional?
I'll make this very quick. I'm picking Lena. Fuck Akeno and fuck Rias.
Oh, fuck you!
Alright, well, let's not start with this.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm
What is?
This guy's had a grudge for ages now.
He's had a grudge since she showed up.
Like
I still don't understand.
You gotta let that go. Just like you
I
got
don't
it's just
understand
this
it.
like this. It's like this issue with the list. You gotta let that shit go, my dude.
I mean, he keeps on calling Rias trash all the time, and I keep telling him to shut up. But can we move on?
Do you know what? Do you even know what Rias is capable of? Fully capable of.
I don't think he does, but I have a gut feeling he will sooner rather than later. But nonetheless, we're going to go to our next match here. Match number 11, I believe. I'm losing track, everybody. You're gonna have to help me out here.
This is match
It's
11.
We've had a lot of meetings this week.
It's 11.
Okay, match number 11 is probably one that Zahaya will actually want to be professional and actually make a good prediction of. Because match number 11 is Cecily Campbell versus Psycho Busujima.
Oh.
Now, we talked about the unknowns earlier. We talked about the fact that, there could be some disadvantages to that, but there's also advantages, such as the fact that, half the field are newcomers, and it's harder to prepare for someone you have absolutely no tape on. Eddie knows that full well. And it's much harder to predict a favorite out of all these newcomers. They'll want to prove themselves, they'll want to take advantage of the element of surprise, and they'll want to play their strengths and try to hide whatever weaknesses they have. Here's the problem, though. Psycho has no weakness. All right? We said earlier about how Akeno practically gets off on violence. This woman is probably that times about 500,000.
There's a saying that there is beauty in violence, and no one embodies that statement more than Psycho, because she takes
Who's she facing?
pain.
Who's she facing again?
She's facing Cecily Campbell from the Sacred Blacksmith fame. If you haven't seen that anime, it's pretty good. You might want to go check that out. But anyway, she is a very skilled swordsman, much like Psycho. And but I don't think she is as skilled as Psycho is, though. And I honestly don't think she has the, let's say, drive that Psycho does. Because you kind of need to have a very sadistic frame of mind to be in this frame of mind that Psycho's on a daily basis. Let's just be honest here. Zahaya, go ahead, Zahaya.
She takes, like I was saying, she takes things like pain, punishment, blood, and violence and turns it into an art form. She is quite literally a violent artist. Shouts out to Kyle O'Reilly. She takes pleasure in all types of ways that she can punish. And I don't mean that's the literal sense. If you've seen her, her name is very literal. She is very much a psycho. And for that reason,
Just don't say that to her face, though.
I will make sure that day never happens.
Make sure she didn't hear you say that just now.
Well, this is gonna be on tape.
I'm sorry, Zahaya.
You're dead.
If we don't see you tomorrow, then we know who did it.
God damn. Well, look,
you might as well get your last words out now.
Okay, look, I'm sure Cecily, she's a fantastic swordswoman, and I'm pretty sure she's a fantastic fighter as well. She wouldn't be in this tournament if she wasn't. However, with that being said, Psycho is on a completely different level, and I mean that in every single possible meaning of the word. She is very much an anomaly that I don't think many people are going to be able to figure out in this tournament, and that's why I have her moving on to the next round.
Does anyone agree with him?
Who are you picking? Who are you picking again?
Thinking Psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm with the higher on this.
yeah. As am I.
Well, all right then.
She welcomes she welcomes battles. She welcomes battles like you and I would welcome their best friends.
Yeah, it sounds.
That's
scary.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well,
you should not be. The woman in this field should not be scared of this woman. They should be terrified of this woman.
yeah, they should. They really should. And speaking of terrifying women, we go on to match number 12. Zahaya.
What?
I'm going to apologize in advance for what I'm about to tell everyone in this room.
What? Why?
The next match number 12 is Satellizer L. Bridget versus the Wretched Egg Shiro.
What the fuck? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to make sure there's an actual literal death happening in the middle of that fucking ring? You absolute psychopath?
Now, Satellizer, if you don't know, is from Freezing. If you haven't seen that anime, I assure you, you should go watch it. It's good. It has 2 seasons. Anyway, she is quite possibly one of the most brutal women on the planet. Don't let the looks fool you.
Brutal.
She's violent. She's very, very violent. She can rip your arm off, or your head, or your limbs, or any part of your body in the snap of her fingers. But on the other side of that, you have Shiro from Dead Man Wonderland fame. If you haven't seen that, what is wrong with you? You are an uncultured swine. And she can do literally the exact thing anytime she feels like it. This is going to be a bloodbath.
Can I go on this? Can I?
You might as well.
What we have here is a literal deathmatch. And I don't mean that in the fact that we're going to get light tubes or a bunch of thumbtacks or a board with open scissors in them going into other people's necks.
Not 0 chance.
But this is a deathmatch, and literally these are quite possible. You have one in Satellizer L. Bridget, who is one of the most calculated and coldest, and one of the coldest assassins to ever walk the face of the earth. She literally has no emotion on her face when she is dealing out pain and punishment, and sometimes even murder. There's just nothing. There's nothing there. And that's the opposite when it comes to Shiro, because there's nothing that she loves more than to deliver pain and punishment and murder, because she is a fucking psycho. I know we already have a person in this tournament named Psycho, but if there is anyone who embodies... If you look in the goddamn dictionary, look up the word psycho, you will see this woman's face right in the front of the page, looking you dead into the center of your soul, and you will know that she is fucking death incarnate. So yeah, that's the type of match we're heading into. Now,
Are you alright, Zahaya?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm quite...
Are you terrified?
Yes!
You're going
very
to be
much so.
commentating this. You're going to be commentating this, by the way. You better be ready for
I'm
it.
aware! I'm fucking aware!
You're going to be at ringside, buddy.
Now, who's going to win this match? Is there a winner? I don't fucking know. I can't really say if there's going to be a winner, because I'm not sure if either woman's going to be fucking alive by the end of this fucking match. But if I had to go with someone to not die, who will not come out dead in this one, I'd go probably with Shiro, but just by this much, an inch of a hair.
Hit Kid, do you have anything to respond to the highest screams of?
Well, if I could add to that, consider it's the highest expected in all bloodbath. We need to remember this will not be held under deathmatch rules in a sense.
Well, I mean, do you think the
But
referee?
then again,
think the referee is going to actually get these two if they really get to a all-out?
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Will they really give an F about the ref?
I hope it's not AJ Monahan. I swear.
Oh God!
I swear.
Because you know what's going to happen.
If AJ Monahan's in this ring, he may never come back.
You'll be getting your door kicked in.
Yeah, he may. No, I even then, I mean, we're talking about two women that like to kill people.
I know, and they're going to kill each other. Like, do I say there won't be a winner in this? There'll be a survivor.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And if I had to edge it, I think I would go with Sahaya or go Shiro. Eddie?
I'm just gonna pick Shiro, and we're gonna move on.
All right. Well, since business to attend to, we're just going to move on to match number 13. Match number 13. Let me make sure I haven't already announced. Good. Okay, match number 13. Actually, hang on a second. Okay, so the next match, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The next match is Musubi versus Sylvia Kristel.
What?
Musubi versus
Sylvia Kristel.
That's what I thought you said. Oh,
That's what I
okay.
said. That's what I said, sir. Yes, I did.
That is like polar opposites. These two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very much.
I want to hear Sahaya go first on this.
Okay. All right. Well, it's no secret that I am not as big of a, how would you say, a hater of No More Heroes as the two men besides me. However, there is a reason why I have Musubi probably going all the way in this tournament. So if that's a spoiler, I have her going on to the next round. But I know we've talked about Nozomi and that Wall sees a lot of Sakura and Nozomi and but to be quite honest, I see a lot of what Sakura brought to the table when she first came in Musubi. I see a lot of heart. I see a lot of determination. I see a lot of drive to be the absolute best she can be in anything she does, and whether that means fighting or wrestling, so be it. Then she is going to do. She's going to bring the fight until there is absolutely nothing left inside her, until there is absolutely nothing left she could possibly give in her body to keep fighting. I've seen this woman, how she can go, how she drives herself forward, and how she's got this mindset of a champion. I believe that she has a mindset of a champion. I think she has the fighting style of a champion. I think she has the iron will to make it all the way to this tournament. And I'm not usually the one to get sentimental or have a lot of favorites. But and like I said, I don't hate No More Heroes like most people do, and I definitely don't hate Sylvia. I think she's one of the most clever whether you want to say wrestlers or figures in virtual wrestling today, I think she'll do whatever it takes to get the victory. And I think that's the type of mindset you need to but I think Musubi is just going to be too much to overcome. And I think Musubi is just going to be too much to overcome for a lot of people in this tournament.
I guess I'll go.
You'll go.
It's very open what Sahaya just said. I absolutely despise Sylvia Kristel with every bone in my body. I despise her. I love her in a sense. And I personally would want to see Musubi kill her in that ring. Am I allowed to say that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if that's a bit strong, but you know my opinions of her. But there's here. Sylvia Kristel, we've not seen her in the ring. But Sahaya mentioned before, you know, earlier on with the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Cold, evil, ruthless, and willing to go to any lengths. That's what we've seen with the No More Heroes crew. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
I mean, look at the past few months, what they've pulled. And yes, I'm trying to keep it calm here because I'm just getting angry speaking about them. And Sahaya may not like this, but I know he's saying about his sentimental favourite, and I can't believe I'm doing this because it makes me sick. Sahaya, your sentimental favourite's one and done, mate. I'm picking Sylvia.
Wow. I honestly
And that's
thought
sick.
you would pick...
I hope I'm wrong. But
I thought you were going to pick Musubi just out of spite.
Trust me, I want to pick Musubi out of spite, but I have to be real, and in my head is saying this. There's something evil in that mind. You know, I think she's a beeping beep. But yes, I'm trying to keep this calmed. If I wanted to let me feel real feelings out, we'd be here all night. But Sylvia, I think, is going to get the win here. Eddie?
I agree with her, kid. Sylvia in this tournament is going to be like battle like in the ACW Glamour X Element tournament. She's either going to go out in one or go all the way. I think Sylvia goes all the way, and she doesn't even raise her hand once. Why would she when she has a whole crew of people behind her to do the dirty work for her? What makes you think that mindset isn't going to extend into the biggest Queens of Wrestling tournament in the history of this franchise? I'm going with Sylvia. I really shouldn't. I really don't want to. But let's be honest. Sylvia's gonna go far, probably go all the way, and she's not gonna do it alone. Next match.
Yeah,
All
please.
right.
Next
All
match.
right. I'm just gonna keep this.
I feel sick with myself for picking that, but next match.
I'm just gonna keep this simple. Asuna versus Deanne.
Ooh! David versus Goliath, anyone? Here you go.
Please notify Asuna's next of kin.
I mean, we know where it's going.
Because Deanne is on a warpath, considering what her former best friend did to her in the not too recent past. Asuna's gonna die. Go on. I see the time to you.
I think Deanne's gonna kill Ino and Nakumi, and I can't wait for that. Am I allowed to say that just personally?
Oh yeah.
But I'm going to throw the curveball. Anger is a great thing, Eddie. You understand?
Uh-huh.
Fighting with emotion is great, but it could also be your downfall.
Right.
I think Deanne's a bit of an... Deanne, it's very openly right now an emotional wreck. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
I think you're looking at... and we know that... And I know I mentioned David and Goliath at the start. I'm going to stick with the tail. I think Asuna slays Deanne. This is a bracket buster for me. Zahaya.
Well, I think we're going to have to change up that story a bit because I'm going to have to go with Deanne in this one. And that's nothing, that has nothing to, like, no disrespect to Asuna. She's done some great work. I know she's done some very good work down in UCCW. I know that she's been a mainstay in virtual wrestling for a very long time. However, Deanne has broken out lately in ACW. I believe that she is finally letting loose. I think the chains are off. I think that we're going to see the full-on monster that Deanne can be in this Queens of Wrestling tournament. And that first victim is going to be Asuna.
Well,
2 matches left.
two matches left. 4 women left. I set the big ones for last.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you guys are ready, but match number 15 in the Queens of Wrestling tournament. Zahaya, hold on to your chair. Hold on to whatever lips you have left. You got Urza Scarlet going one-on-one with Aerith Gainsborough.
Woo!
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, guys.
That's disgusting.
Oh, if you think that's disgusting, if you think that's disgusting, let me tell you what the 1 match is left. D-Wall, I got this. I've been doing my math.
Yeah, I just figured it out as well. Rest in peace. Well, Eddie, you explain it. But
The final match will feature Edward Elric's wife, or is it girlfriend? I think will feature Edward Elric's wife versus Harley Glory's wife. Ellie Glory versus Winry Rockbell.
Oh my fuck! What the?
A match that probably should be, hell, let's see, the semifinal.
These are the first round matches.
Yes.
These 2 are first round matches.
Yes.
Are you for real?
Zahaya, you're gonna die on commentary, but I'm sorry. If you don't die by Shiro, you'll die by Psycho. If you don't die by Psycho, you're gonna die by both of them together. If you don't die by both of them together, you'll die with one of these 2 matches. I'm sorry.
Who wants to go first here?
Let's start off with the very obvious. All right. Let's start off talking about Urza Scarlet. Urza Scarlet has been in, VWF, obviously. Very, very tough fighter from Fairy Tail. Let's not bring up Fairy Tail around and starting somebody, because then we'll be here all night. I mean, she's a former hardcore champion, for sakes.
Right.
All right. A lot of people, when she was announced, picked her as the favorite. But here's the problem with that. I don't think they thought that she would be taking on a legend in the strap. Until right now.
She's going up against one of the most prolific performers in she's going up against the very first VWF champion.
Yeah.
She was the first one, right?
Last ever NGW Women's Champion as well.
Yeah.
And can I go?
Go.
Urza Scarlet, despite all the build and despite the hype, guess what? She's one and done.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna go straight out there.
Mm.
I've got Aerith going far in this tournament, and she is one of my. This Aerith was one of the all I believe, and this is a true fact, and even other figures can't go to this. So like Tifa and Abby. Aerith was at the time the only, and this is true, the women's Triple Crown winner in NGW history. The interactive title, the Rumble Roses title, and then the women's title. All 3 singles belts she won. Then in PWF, she won the women's title. She was the women's champion. Went through absolute wars of attrition. And is probably coming back to make a statement considering how we've seen, the rise of the others still.
Right.
I think Aerith's feeling a bit left out. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
She's coming here with something to prove.
Like she wants there's the the old one last run thing.
Yeah, and in my opinion, for me, and I know this sounds crazy, couldn't have been a more perfect opponent. As boy, this will send a message. I think Ezra's one and done, guys. I'm going Aerith.
I will go with Aerith as well. I think whoever wins this is going to have a deep run in this tournament.
I am gonna go with. Oh boy. I'm gonna go with Urza.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know that's a very much of a toss-up pick, but then again, this is a very
Toss-up kind of tournament.
Yeah. This match can literally go anywhere. This match could literally. This could go to anyone, I believe. I mean, you have Urza, who is just one of the most intimidating figures in all females virtual wrestling, or in virtual wrestling period. She is very much a skilled fighter, very much just a skilled, warrior in a sense. And I think she's going to be looking to go very far in this tournament. I think she has it in her to go very far in this tournament. Aerith, I know that she was VWF World Champion. She was on top of the world. She was, that woman putting women's virtual wrestling on the map. However, with that being said, and I mean this with no disrespect, virtual wrestling, especially for the women's division, I believe has evolved. And that's not saying that Aerith wasn't like one of the contributors to that evolution in the first place. I'm just saying that I think the amount of talent that we have, the amount of matches, the match quality, and just the overall look of women's virtual wrestling has changed so much that you have all these women just gunning for the top. And I just don't think Aerith has been in that conversation for quite a while. Urza, I think she's going to be hungry. I think she's going to be ready. I think she's going to be looking to win this whole damn thing, and I think that's why she's going to edge out Aerith, even though I do not for a second think this is going to be this is going to be close as it comes.
So I think now with that pick in the books.
Oh God, yeah, it's on to the match.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
May I say it? Can I say it?
Go ahead and say it.
Rest in peace, the ACW Discord and all AC fan pages.
When we rock bell, LA Glory. Holy shit.
There's gonna be blood.
Whoever made this bracket is playing a very cruel joke. It's sadistic. Points for being sadistic. Goddamn, it's an absolute coin flip.
It is.
But I'm gonna go with Ellie simply on the strength that that she's that she's a trained fighter. She's more polished. Yeah, Winry, she's not nearly as polished. She can't wrestle. The old saying, she can't wrestle, but she can damn sure fight. And I think Winry's gonna, she's gonna be a scrapper. She's not gonna give up and all that. But Ellie, she's like Ellie. She just knows what she's doing in that ring, I think. And I don't think Winry has that type of experience or that type of killer instinct that she needs to go far in this. So my pick is Ellie. Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna throw the counter punch.
Go on.
You mentioned about women not being trained, and it actually applies to both women. You have to think the husbands were probably training with them.
Oh, sure.
And now that this has come out, like, we talked about, death matches before.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even need to go into how personal this is.
I mean, their husbands are in the main event of Animania 5.
Yeah, and we know how personal that is.
Oh, yes.
So, what do you think the wives are going to do to each other?
Ooh. Oh my God! They're gonna tear each other apart.
Yeah, this is going to be a war. And I'm being serious here. I will not be surprised even if there is any underhanded tactics in this. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends via, let me think, feet on the ropes or, a weapon being used.
Yeah.
And if I had to go to someone a bit more ruthless, and I'm looking at the husbands here, I'd say Winry. I think Winry does it. It's a higher.
Wow, you guys are just leaving me to be the fucking tiebreaker of this shit.
Yeah.
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 All right. This is obviously, if it's not the most anticipated match on the card, it's one of the most, without a fucking doubt.
It's probably number one, and it's not close.
Oh, without a doubt.
Well,
as I said, rest in peace, CW fan pages.
More than likely. Ah, Jesus Christ. I mean, you guys already mentioned what already needs to be said. Their track record, their history. Their husbands, and they've got to be training with them. There's not much I can really add on here. It's just got to go with someone who I believe would have the better game, who would have the better strategy, who would have the better training. Fuck.
Sorry, man.
I'm just gonna have to go with it. Ellie Glory, straight up.
All right.
Just straight up.
All right. We don't have the complete bracket for.
No, I believe Deanne will explain that.
Yeah, we don't know. We know the first round matchups, but we don't know who will face each other going forward.
Oh, well, that's what I'm here for.
Oh.
So, you're about to get that right now.
Oh, fantastic.
So, does anyone want to know?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think the people at home want to know.
Oh, the people at home do. Zahaya doesn't. We don't care about it. So, here's how everything will shake out. This whole thing is done. All right, Faith Connors will take on Siri, as you know, first round. The winner of that match will face the winner of Nilin and Miyu.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Let me repeat that. Faith Connors and Siri. And the winner gets the winner of Nila and Miyu.
Gotcha.
Erica Blendelli and Sakura Haruno. The winner of that match will take on the winner of Cecily Campbell and Psycho.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Max Caulfield and Nozomi Kamanashi. The winner of that match will get the winner of Ringo Noimano in 2. So tough out for the winner no matter what.
Yeah, no kidding.
Damn.
And now to round out the first half of the bracket, Joanna Dark and Hakufu Zanzaku. And the winner of that will face the winner of Mila and Faye Valentine.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah. We're cranking it out. And now we're going to the other half of this bracket. As we know, Ezra Scarlet and Aerith Gainsborough. The winner of that will face the winner of Lena Vance and Lena Vance and Akeno Himejima.
I think I have to take that back.
Oh god.
I think I gotta take back my statement of whoever wins this is going far. They're probably not going far.
Now,
Akeno's coming out of that foursome.
now,
Don't say it like that.
yeah, please don't. We're gonna get
Jesus,
sued.
Eddie.
We're
That's
not-
something
What?
I would say.
That's something.
What?
That's something the Savage would say.
What?
He's not even.
Like what's?
Domino and Juri Han. The winner of that will take on the winner of Silver Sable and Christie Montero.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
So, are we getting an all CCL matchup in the second round? Maybe.
Depends. It depends. It depends.
Does the math beat the face though? If it does come down to that.
No.
Well, remember, Domino has a 143 and 2/3% chance.
Let me tell you
We're
something.
no, we're not doing that again. Let's go. Go to the
Anyway.
next one.
Anyway,
Samoa Joe had an 8 1/3% chance to win the sacrifice. He won.
so Musubi and Sylvia Kristel.
The
winner of that match gets the winner of the Wi-Fi.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And by process of elimination, Asuna and Deanne, the winner of that match,
We'll get Shiro.
we'll get
Shiro.
either Shiro
We'll
or
get Shiro.
Satellizer or
We'll
Elbridge.
get Shiro. The winner will get Shiro.
That's a tough one, Eddie. That's a tough
The winner will get Shiro.
If it was anybody else,
The winner,
I'd pick.
ignore
like,
this.
if it-
Ignore this man. The winner will get Shiro.
Oh god.
You mean Zaya?
No, absolutely not.
Because he's gonna die anyway.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
after
die.
Akeno hears this tape back, he's gonna die.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Winner gets Shiro.
No, actually, no. After Psycho hears this tape, he's really gonna die.
Oh yeah. Right.
But like I've avoided picking personal favorites, and I'm still not going to do that. But I am going to say this: Shiro and Satellizer. If it was anybody else, it would probably be Shiro hands down. But considering she's going up against someone who's just as ruthless, cold, and heartless as she is, that's a toss.
Death match.
That's a toss. Now remember, any of these women, any of these 32 women, 8 of them will be chosen for a single elimination second chance tournament.
I mean, among the non-winners.
Yeah, in Zahaya's mind, they're not winners, but 8 of them will move on by the fans' vote to possibly contend for the Soul Silver Championship, which is not a bad consolation prize, if I do say so myself.
Right.
So now that we know, now it's down to what really matters, and this is where you guys will come in, because At the bottom of the description, there will be a challenge link to make your own predictions on who you think is going to advance and move all the way in this tournament, and who will ultimately, in your opinion, win the Queens of Wrestling 5 tournament. But now we're going to take it to our panel. Who do you think will win the entire tournament out of all 32 of these women?
God damn, that's a tough. That is a.
I'm sure these changes. I'm sure these picks will change by the time the tournament starts. But nonetheless,
Can I go on my sword first?
yes.
Go ahead. By the way, I have my pick.
There's 3 names. I'm having a I've got 3. Can I at least announce one person on a side of the bracket who I think will make the final?
Okay.
Well, okay. Let's do it this way. Who do you think are going to be the final 2, and who do you think is going to win? Let's make it easy.
Okay. Christie Montero. It's going on the A side of the bracket to the final. I'm divided between these other 2 though. I can't believe I'm going to do this. Christie Montero versus Sylvia Kristel's your final.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing about that. Sylvia and Christie are on the same side of the bracket.
Sorry. It's been a
They'll
long
have to
day.
fight. If they do make it, they will have to meet. They will meet up eventually in the 3rd round, which is the quarterfinal.
Damn, this is killer.
Yeah.
I think those 2 will meet though. I don't want to say it. I'm going to say it. I've got Sylvia Kristel winning this entire tournament. And that's coming from the person who hates this woman the most. But just look at the X factors. Mindset, check. Numbers game, that's a check. Unknown factor, check. What length she will go to, you can check that off. We've already seen what length she will go to. She has no morals.
I think, and this is just me, that you're not giving enough credit to the other people, because I get
No.
I get where you're coming from. I do. Because I've seen what Sylvia is capable of. However, if she does go far, I believe that there's only so many times that she can try to play the same games and tricks before someone catches on to her plot.
And I would love that, Sahaya. But this is Sylvia Kristel we're talking about. Look what's happened so far in her few months she's been in around virtual wrestling. She stayed ahead of the game. She is like a game player. She's like 2 steps ahead of everyone. And here's the thing. We've seen the damage the No More Heroes crew have done around recently. They've all proven themselves. A leader wants to lead by example. And I hate saying that. I think Sylvia's winning it. I, for God's sake, hope I am wrong. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Someone is going to will their way through 5 matches. Sylvia Kristel is a hell of a pick because, like I said, she probably doesn't even have to raise her hand once to run through the field. Why would she be when she has a whole crew behind her to do it for her? And yeah, Zahai, I get it. I get that, yeah, eventually someone's going to wise up to it. But here's the other thing. She's got a goddamn army behind her. That said, The only way Sylvia Kristel does not make it all the way through the tournament is if the No More Heroes crew is banned the entire way. Because
Are you saying what? Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Probably not.
Okay.
And I think there will
What do
be.
you think the
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'll let him finish. I'll let him finish.
I think there will be a decree handed down that, hey, Sylvia, you got to do this on your own. You can't have your crew. And you can't have anyone. You can't have your crew, and you can't have anyone that might be in your crew.
If that happens, she's done for.
Yeah. That said, my final. Psycho Busujima versus Christie Montero. Psycho wins.
Whoa! I was so expecting him to pick Christie. That's a shocker.
I'll let that one marinate for a little bit.
All right, guys, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. Live by the sword, you die by the fucking sword. And let's just make sure I got these women are in the women are in the like opposite brackets. I got Musubi and Ellie going to the finals.
And winning the whole thing?
Musubi. You say Sylvia has an army behind her. I say Musubi can take on 10 armies and more. I say Musubi.
You do know what this army consists of?
Wait, who did you say? Musubi and who? Zahir?
Ellie. He said Ellie
Ellie.
Glory.
Here's the problem with that.
They're on the same side.
This
Yeah.
has to meet in the second round.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm gonna pass you all the bracket, so you can see yours.
That'll probably help.
Yeah, I'll pass it. I'll get.
I've already.
Sorry, Hakeem. I had to borrow Jeff. I'm sorry.
Hakeem.
I had to borrow Jeff. I apologize.
It's been a long week for all.
Yeah.
It's been. It's a loan. It's just a loan. I swear.
My pick is in. My pick is in. I got.
Okay, now hopefully that will help. You should all have it passed through.
Super.
Oh yes, that helps.
Yeah, I know what part I'm going. I know what part I'm going with.
I will stick by my final. And my winner.
I guess I'll. All right, I'm sticking with my winner, as much as it sickens me. But I'll tell you who she's going to beat in the final.
Who?
Bit of an upset one. I've got Sakura Haruno making a run to the final.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, she meets someone who's just a little bit more ruthless.
All right. Well, looking at this thing and just taking a look at all the players involved, I am going to say the finals are going to be between Faith Connors and Musubi. And again, I still have Musubi winning the whole damn thing.
Huh. Musubi, I kind of expected you to choose, but Faith is a big.
I looked at the bracket again. I think she could do it. I honest to God think she can do it.
I guess.
All right. Well,
I guess we shall see.
yeah. I mean, this is going to be a very, very, very interesting tournament.
Indeed, it will be. I can't wait.
Most definitely.
I think I have thrown together one of the most unpredictable thrill rides this summer.
Yes, you have.
Can't wait.
But with that said, I hope you guys are ready because Queens of Wrestling got a lot of stuff coming to you in the next couple months. And the next time we talk about the tournament is going to be at the Queens of Wrestling Showcase event, where all 32 women will be there to pretty much, introduce themselves to all of you. So I hope you are ready for that. And I hope you guys are ready to make your predictions because, like I said, in the bottom of the screen there, the bottom of the description, you will see the challenge link to let us know who you think is going to win the whole tournament. So, with that said, for Eddie Mac, for Hit Kid Worldwide, for Mr. SRH, for Malik Brown, for Lips, I am D-Wall, signing off.